Come January 19th, TikTok is done. This has been the case for over 2 months now. They tried to get the law stricken down almost 2 months ago. That did not take place. So this law that Biden had signed is still in effect. This law states that cell phone providers, internet providers, come January 19th, cannot, on any app store, any website, anything like that, make TikTok app available for download or for update, which you need the updates for the app to run properly on your phone. Now, I'm not sure if there's going to be some kind of fines if they don't comply or anything like that. I'm sure there is. They'll be in violation of the law. And that's it, okay? 2 days ago, I was covering how TikTok was making their oral arguments in front of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is saying that they're mostly leaning towards this has nothing to do with free speech. This has to do with national security. This law also states that unless TikTok is sold, and not just sold to anybody, sold to an American, it's going to face being banned. That is so discriminatory, okay? Because the former CEO of TikTok is a Chinese citizen. He was born in China. He's Chinese, but he lives in Singapore. And he's not even the current CEO of TikTok and hasn't been for the last couple years. But I also want to make the argument that TikTok has been very popular with children in America for over 6 years now. And so if it's 170 million Americans out of 330 million American citizens that live here in this country, if 170 million of them prefer TikTok, I'm telling you, this is going to be a huge problem. And this has nothing to do with the creators that are getting paid because of the creator fund and all of that. The whole thing is that when it comes to this, it is not just hurting that little percentage of people who get paid because they are in the creator fund or they're a part of the creator fund. This is going to hurt everybody, all 170 million American citizens out of the 330 million that are here in this country that prefer this app. That is taking away your right to choose, your right to say, this is the app I like, this is the app that I'm on. Now, what a lot of creators don't understand, because a lot of people, I myself have told everybody, hey, go over to my YouTube. I'm more active on YouTube anyway. I put a lot of my TikToks on my YouTube anyway. And so the community that I've built for the last year and a half over on YouTube is fantastic. But people on YouTube are totally different than people on TikTok. Okay, a lot of people liked YouTube because it doesn't have the TikTok feel, because it doesn't have the drama, the bullshit, the nasty comments that people leave. It doesn't have all of that surrounding it. People are generally a better, nicer, kinder, more tight-knit community over on YouTube, and the video content flow is totally different on YouTube. So a lot of people, I know that it's like this big thing. I'm not worried about it, because the very next day, on January 20th, President Donald Trump is going to be taking office for his second term. And this is my gut feeling, whether you like Trump or not. Trump loves social media, and he loves nothing more than having his right to social media, the same way Elon Musk does. I really genuinely think that nothing is going to make him more loved than overturning this ban and bringing it back. And nothing's going to say, hey, you remember when that former administration decided to put that law into place and to take away your right because they were worried about national security, although we've had TikTok for over 6 years and never had a problem. Extremely against Chinese and Asian people as a whole. To say that the CEO is affiliated with the Chinese Communist government and is going to be leaking data and information. I'm sorry, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, Threads are all owned by him. X is now owned by Elon Musk, who I'm assuming now has his American citizenship, even though he's born and raised in South Africa and went to college and lived in Canada. I'm assuming he is a U.S. citizen now. He owns X now. And then we also have Bill Gates, who, doesn't he own all of Apple? And I'm not even going to get into like the CEO of Google, and which owns YouTube, all of that. I'm just saying a lot of social media applications that are very popular and very successful are actually owned by Americans. And there is nothing more unconstitutional than to tell another country that they have to sell their website, their app, and not only do they have to sell it, but they have to sell it to an American, or they are going to face being banned in America. I'm going to put this into context. America only has 330 million citizens. 330 million. There's 8 billion people on this planet. China has 1.8 billion. India, which is another Asian country, just like China is in Asia, Asia is a continent, has 1.7 billion people. All the other Asian countries that make up Asia, besides just China and India, totality, they have almost 2/3 of the entire Homo sapien population. I think that is really rich, that anybody actually thinks as an American that they're going to sit here and tell somebody else that they have to sell the app. And they not only have to sell it, that they have to sell it to an American or face being banned here. But to go on and to say that we're just going to completely outright ban it, knowing that there's so many Americans that love TikTok and have been using it for over 6 years. It's very popular with our youth. It's considered a kids app, even though a lot of kids come on here and say horrible, nasty things to creators like, oh, you're old, get off of here. Well, I would let you know that over 92% of all creators on TikTok are over the age of 35. So the majority of content that kids are watching and seeing is actually done by people over the age of 35. So it's really the older people, the middle-aged and older people that are largely creating the best content, the most watched content, and the majority of it. But there are countries like the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and we're not even going to get into Australia and all of that stuff, but they don't allow, not only is it very much limited what can be seen by these countries in Europe and Australia, but they don't allow creators to make money and be a part of the creator fund at all. And that's just always been for them. So those people that never even had a chance in those countries to even become a creator that gets paid, which they should, everybody should get paid for their videos and their time. Okay, labor laws, hello. But just the fact is, those people have had to have a real job, just like everybody else has had to. And there's plenty of jobs available. There's so many places around me that are hiring constantly. So that's bullshit. People just think that creating content is the easier way of getting paid. And let me tell you, it actually breaks down to be a hell of a lot less than minimum wage. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of writing things down, a lot of editing, and a lot of times it takes a lot of tools, like not just a phone, tripods, lighting, a PC, software. But I'm just going to keep going with my whole thing. This is the current CEO of TikTok. This is the current CEO of TikTok. And he has been in front of the Supreme Court many times since 2001, and he's been in front of congressional hearings as well, making arguments for why TikTok shouldn't be banned and why it shouldn't be limited, and how they are not giving user data to the communist Chinese government or compromising people's private data. And they're not tampering with elections, and they're not tampering with anything else to try to sway Americans' opinions. So at this point, it looks like, yes, I said it days ago. I said it 5 days ago with my first and second video talking about this. TikTok is going to be banned. There's just no way forward in the next 7 days. In the coming week, we are going to see TikTok probably just go completely black and go down. That is assuming that all of the internet and service providers for cell phones are going to comply with the law. And I'm just saying, don't worry about it, because I believe that this is not going to stick. I really don't. I think it's going to freak everybody out. They're going to go 24 hours without the app. They're going to be like, oh, I lost all my content. I lost my ability to make money. I lost my ability to see my favorite content, to be able to talk to my friends that are in other countries and things like that, which is what a lot of kids like to do. But Donald Trump takes office on January 20th. And I'm telling you, I think he's going to reverse it. Nothing will cement his fame more than that. Even more than the attempt on his life and surviving it. TikTok's main problem is too many bots and fake accounts